The Mike Radio Show.
On 102.5 The Bone.
Poppy's mind is like a circus, and you're all invited. Welcome back to Hoppe Hour.
Hoppe Hot Topic.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
What's going on? It's 10 minutes of Hoppe Hour. Actually, no, it's 9 minutes and 55 seconds, 54. I got to get to the point because time is short, but I'm very tall. Call the show at 727-579-1025 and 1-800-771-1025. Tweet at me at Ryan Hoppe Radio, and you can email me if you're traditional. RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com. All right. So on this show that I do, by searching up Hoppe Radio on every single podcast Sting platform, I talk about celebrity news. And Britney Spears had that documentary about her come out 2 months ago, and we didn't really hear what she had to say about it, but now we know that she probably wasn't a fan of it.
Britney Spears has broken her silence. Nearly 2 months after Framing Britney Spears was released, the singer shared her reaction to the headline-making documentary. The 39-year-old took to Instagram and wrote a lengthy caption alongside a video of herself dancing to Crazy.
First of all, I love Britney. I'm a big fan of her music. I grew up listening to them in kindergarten, which will make you feel old, average bone listener. But at the same time, whenever you watch those dancing videos, she tries to portray that she's happy, but she just looks so unhappy.
By Aerosmith. Quote, "My life has always been very speculated, watched, and judged. Really, my whole life. For my sanity, I need to dance to @Steven Tyler every night of my life to feel wild and human."
Why?
Said. Quote, "I didn't watch the documentary, but from what I did see of it, I was embarrassed by the light they put me in. I cried for 2 weeks, and well, I still cry sometimes."
To all the free Britney people out there that were watching it and eating the popcorn and were entertained by it. To all the free Britney podcasts out there, like the one that was included in there, that are acting like when they cover Britney Spears, they're doing her a favor, like they're doing her a service. You are no different than the paparazzi that covered her 15 years ago. You're just trying to act woke now. The paparazzi, late night TV, radio shows 15 years ago were mean to her, but now being nice to her, it's not helping her because you're giving her the attention she doesn't want. If you truly cared about Britney, enough of the free Britney, enough of the attention about her, just leave her alone.
I do what I can in my own spirituality with myself to try and keep my own joy, love, and happiness. Everyday dancing brings me joy. I'm not here to be perfect. Perfect is boring. I'm here to pass on kindness.
That's a perfect quote to describe Britney Spears. I'm not here to be perfect. Because all the people out there that are making the free Britney shirts, all the people out there that have judged her over the years, the late night talk show hosts, Jay Leno, David Letterman, back in the day, they were making jokes about her. They always came off like they were perfect, like they had no skeletons in the closet. And you can say what you want about Britney Spears and what she did in the early 2000s. But at least she was being genuine. At least we were seeing the real side of her. You don't see David Letterman or Jay Leno shaving their head. You don't see any of the people that are Britney Spears fans now shaving her head. And here's the thing about the Britney Spears updates that we're getting from the fans that care about her mental health, like the podcast. They were doing episodes debating where Britney is. If you truly cared about Britney, you would not be talking about it until she made an official announcement. But when you are debating where she's at, when she's being quiet, you're doing it for attention, and you're a lying phony. All right, I have 2.5 minutes.
So I think there were a few really surprising things that surprised me the most about Britney's situation and the conservatorship. One was about her backstory. You know, I grew up with Britney, we're around the same age, and I think the real perception of her is that, of her at the time was that she was, you know, an industry puppet or kind of a talentless cipher.
So this is one of the main people in the documentary. I'm sorry, I probably should have introduced that before the clip. She's saying that the whole business thought that she was just this puppet. And this is one of the people in the documentary acting like she cares about Britney's mental health when she just passive-aggressively just said that she thought she was a puppet. She's pretty much saying, I thought she was a puppet. That's the biggest problem with this documentary, was it never really got Britney's approval, and it's making her cry. All right, here's part 2 of the editor who was featured in the documentary.
And I was really surprised in going back through and talking to people who were closely involved with her early career, how much control Britney had herself.
She goes on to say how much control she had. She didn't believe this girl had anything to do with it. Can we get a separate documentary where we hear from people that actually cared about Britney and weren't just following her for talent because the people that were following her wish they had a talent of Britney?
Over her own success. She very much so, was in control of, her music and picking her performances and her clothing. And that was really surprising to me. And also ironic now, given the lack of control that she has over her personal life.
That woman just said, oh, I was surprised that she did all these things and now she has nothing. Ha ha ha, loser. I felt weird watching the Britney documentary. I feel like I shouldn't be watching it. I hated that I found it entertaining because it's talking about somebody who is mentally ill. And I'm beyond mentally ill. Now, I don't want to go on the radio, which I just did, and say that Britney's mentally ill. But I got bipolar, I got ADD, I got ADHD, and I got nonverbal learning disability. So I got a whole bundle of things. You mix it into a milkshake maker and it just explodes. I'm crazy. And I put myself out there all the time. And I take hate all the time. But it's 1/1,000,000,000th of what Britney had to deal with. It's not even anything. It's one Joe Schmo that has a beard, that likes to drink beer, that writes a mean tweet at me. Can you imagine getting 100 million of that? I mean, the poor girl, man. She's just an angel out there. She's just a girl that wants to have a girl named Lucky. All right, this has been 10 minutes of Hoppe Hour. We got 3 minutes left, and I didn't want to spend the whole time, just ranting, because if I were to get a show on the bone, I want to show everybody that I'm more than just ranting. So here's some production I made. But before I go, I got to, plug myself. I could go to Ybor City as well to do that. Go to every single major platform that has a podcast. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and search up Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Radio. Once again, thank you to Michael for allowing me to do this. And here is a funny thing we did. Here's some outtakes from before the show began, the show that we pre-recorded. And then it's Camille Trust with Summer. Thank you guys for listening to 102.5 The Bone. A Cat Named Mo is up next.